You wouldn't believe it, but this guy Dickie is the prime suspect. He's gone missing in Rome, and of course, now that he's had some chats with Ripley, Ripley is on the hot seat with the cops. But Ripley's answers were flawless, leaving the cops puzzled. They then pulled out the open suicide note, and Ripley delivered an Oscar-worthy performance. Yeah, that's what he wrote. He said, acting as casual as if he was just chilling at home. It's a suicide note. You're posing these questions to me, yet it was actually you who unconsciously penned the suicide note. Notably, Ripley clearly enjoyed blending in with his less fortunate friend Ripley, despite the stark contrast between their backgrounds, unlike Dickie. Every few days, picking up Mark, they learned his dad called a detective. Nobody believes Dickie would commit suicide, making Ripley nervous. Eventually, the group arrived at Ripley's newly rented house, and upon stepping inside and seeing how enormous it was, Mark was completely perplexed, murmuring to himself, "What kind of joke is life playing on me? Look at the expression on my face. Don't worry, it's just the way things are, and that's precisely the reason why Mark is capable of pulling off some extremely exaggerated actions." But they had to wait for the private investigator's findings. Meanwhile, Ripley was wrestling with his nightmares, when suddenly Peter and Mark knocked on the door. With so many rooms to choose from, and all of them being friends, Mark decided to crash here for the night. Just then, Ripley was in the shower, a perfect soap opera moment. Mark, anxiously outside, called for him to open up. When Ripley finally opened the door, he was stunned. Mark unexpectedly found Dickie's ring, the one no matter what, Ripley couldn't believe Dickie would gift that ring to him. He had to take a deep breath and try to calm himself down. But after shutting the door, those motorist thoughts came rushing back, as he started frantically looking around. Soon enough, he found a razor just as Mark was about. Ripley slowly approached while confessing to Mark that he actually had a serious crush on him. As his excitement grew, the words rushed out, and blood oozed from his pocket. Was the sixth sense kicking in? Mark realized the guy in front of him was the killer, and he might just end up as another tragic story. Ripley completely missed the fact that he was so busy gripping the blade, he accidentally cut himself. Meanwhile, Mark was trying desperately to keep it cool. But confronted with this demonic man, Mark's inner world had already completely crumbled. As he helplessly whispered, "Are you feeling alright now? Give it a try, have a chat with her. Tom, let me know what is happening here." Using Peter's crush on him, Ripley played the sympathy card and easily explained the situation, claiming Mark was always accusing him of being the murderer. They had a little spat, and it was that simple. Peter, having visited the police station, naturally believed Ripley was innocent. The next day, Ripley was Dickie's dad, who whisked away Mark for complaining, after which everything was handed over to their family detective. This totally freaked out Ripley. He thought his glitz and glam life was over. But surprise, surprise! The detective revealed Dickie once had this school fight in over jealousy, nearly leaving another student disabled. That's why Dickie's dad shipped him off to study abroad. In Dickie's dad's mind, Dickie was totally capable of murder, and he thought of him as a player. He was definitely not buying into that commitment ring nonsense. The detective continued. He found out that the girl who committed suicide in Rome was pregnant, and Dickie was the dad. And the detective believed Ripley was in the know about this. So, Ripley's hot gossip got a thumbs up from Dickie's dad, who also hoped Ripley would keep that info from Mark forever. As for that suicide note, Dickie's dad believed that Dickie left him that inheritance to keep his secret safe, to preserve the family's reputation. He decided to honor that commitment and transfer part of Dickie's trust fund to Ripley's name, not a single charge against him. He was transformed from the underdog to the top dog, all because of his cleverness, and Ripley couldn't believe his luck. It was all real. Ripley, standing tall as a winner, bid farewell to Mark, but Mark still firmly believed Ripley was the hidden killer. "Mark, you killed Dickie." I know. Please, don't do this." "Not the time. Seriously, even though Dickie's old man is around, Ripley and Peter are together, and it feels like he's reborn." While enjoying the sunset, suddenly a voice chimed in. "Dickie, what's wrong?" I just want you. Oh my goodness, how intense this feeling is." "Hey there, Mark. Didn't see that coming. Rocco's on this boat too." My heart is racing again. Now, Dickie is already dead, and that's a tough one to explain. Through conversation, Ripley skillfully guided Rocco's knowledge, and he casually mentioned that he was suspected of offing Freddy and went into hiding. To his surprise, Rocco said he just saw Peter, and asked Dickie if he came with Peter. Dickie quickly denied, claiming he came solo. Then he went back to his room to hide, but Peter mentioned he just went out looking for him and saw him kissing Rocco. Next, Ripley turned around, putting a noose around his neck while talking his way out, mentally weighing his two options. He could either take out Rocco or Peter right here and now. Clearly, going after Rocco was dicey. For Peter, he truly liked Ripley, and even though he was from an elite family, He never looked down on Ripley just because of his lack of wealth. If anything, he admired him. However, Ripley had been devoured by greed and lies, and his choice to be with Peter was simply because he could be himself around him. But when it came to survival, Ripley had to play the devil's advocate, and he couldn't help but say, "You're such a hypocritical liar." Tom has a secret, and spoiler alert, Tom isn't alone. Tom has secrets he won't share with me, and I really hope he spills them. Tom has a secret. Tom doesn't want to tell me, but I truly hope he would. Tom has nightmares, and these are definitely not the good kind of signs. Tom has someone who has his heart set on him, and now that truly is some better news to hear. Tom is sounding the alarm specifically for me. Tom, you're blowing your horn at me. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.